Hi, word wanderers.
Welcome to my channel. Today, we'll discuss some useful phrases you can use when you meet someone, whether you know them well or not. Most of the time, we use the same greetings over and over again. Now, I'll teach you a few phrases that we rarely use, but are actually great and sound more natural. The first phrase is, nice to bump into you. Or it's nice to bump into you. You can use this phrase when you are least familiar with someone. If you have seen the person recently, you can say, nice to bump into you again. Now, literally, to bump into someone means to collide with them by accident. For example, I turned the corner too quickly and bumped into a stranger at the park, almost dropping my phone. However, in this context, when talking about meeting people, to bump into someone means to meet them unexpectedly. For example, I bumped into my old teacher at the mall yesterday. This means, I unexpectedly met my old teacher at the mall. Now, the next phrase is one we use when we don't know someone in person, haven't met them before, but maybe we've heard of them or communicated with them digitally. For example, we might have been talking over email or another platform. The phrase is, it's great to finally meet you in person. I said this phrase so often after the pandemic. I had met so many people online through Zoom and other social media platforms, and when the pandemic ended, I finally met them in person. Number 3, another phrase you can use if you haven't met someone before but want to give them a nice compliment is, I've heard so much about you. Of course, you should only say this if you have actually heard a lot about the person. A really good response to this is, all good things, I hope, or all positive, I hope. The next phrase is, it feels like we already know each other. You can use this phrase when you're meeting someone for the first time, but already feel a sense of familiarity, maybe because you've heard a lot about them, have been communicating online, or even if you didn't know each other before but instantly clicked once you started talking. And the last phrase is, I don't think we've crossed paths before. This is a polite way of saying, I don't know who you are, so please introduce yourself to me, while avoiding an awkward situation. To cross paths with someone means to meet them by chance. And if you haven't crossed paths before, this sounds much nicer than saying, who are you? I don't know who you are. Thanks for watching, Word Wanderers. I hope these phrases help make your next meeting a little more natural. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you won't miss part 2, where we'll explore even more useful phrases to elevate your conversations. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.